Everybody, Tim here with today's review of Doctor Who story number 171, The Christmas Invasion, which is kind of interesting because it's actually going to be bookmarked by two shorts. So first I'll go ahead and do the Children in Need special, which came out just before this one. It wasn't really anything to write home about. It's just Rose and the new Doctor, played by David Tennant, like, just kind of looking at each other. And she's like, "Can you change back?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Do you want me to?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, I can't." So, and it's really short. It's like 5 minutes. But it's kind of an interesting first look at the Doctor. So from there, we go right into the story. Christmas special. The first Christmas special. First of many. Overall, it was okay. The plot itself was interesting, but it wasn't exactly what I'd wanted it to be as a first Christmas special. Like, we see Harriet Jones, the new Prime Minister, the spinning Christmas tree. It's like, okay. They bring up Torchwood a couple of times, and it's like, okay, that's the big one for the season. Everybody look for Torchwood. We find out that 1/3 of the population have been taken over, which is roughly 2 billion people, and it's people with the A+ blood type, which sadly that would have been me, because I have an A+. I only know that because it's easy to memorize for me. A+, it's the only test I ever passed. Cheesy joke, whatever. So we get that. The TARDIS translates their language for them. The Doctor's disappointed he's not a ginger. The scene where he's quoting The Lion King is so over the top, but brilliant at the same time, that I actually really liked it. When they're sword fighting on top, he gets his hand cut off, and he's like, "Oh, look at me, first 15 hours, and the hand regenerates. Never mentioned before, never been a thing before. In fact, like the whole regeneration thing, they're still figuring it out. I mean, it's getting old, but I still go back to Romana, who's just like, "Oh, look, it's Tuesday, I'm going to regenerate." And then goes through like 6 of them really quick, just for no reason, just to do it. So the whole, okay, 15 hours he can regenerate limbs. Got it. Never see that again. Then, like, the alien tries to attack him, and he, like, kills it, and he's like, "No second chances. I'm that sort of man." Okay, so David Tennant's a dick? Got it, I guess? Whatever. And then kind of the big twist at the end is where he's like, "Leave this planet!" And they leave, and then Harriet Jones is like, "Tell Torchwood to fire," and Torchwood blows him up. And she's like, "Well, Doctor, you're not always going to be here." And then he's like, "I will ruin you in 6 words. Doesn't she look tired? And then sure enough, she's on the news, and everybody's like, "Are you sick?" And she's like, "No, I'm not sick." So overall, it was good. Not great. It was an interesting start. Like I've said before, most Doctors always, like, the first story of a new Doctor is always the roughest. Sometimes even the first season of a new Doctor is pretty rough, because a lot of the stories weren't even written for them. They were written for previous Doctors. So, I mean, you kind of take it how it comes. But overall, it was okay. Moving right along, there's another mini, the Attack of the Grosk. A little short, interactive. It was actually a video game where you're supposed to use your remote. The Doctor says, like, "Oh, Rose, I dropped her off at an ABBA concert in 1979. Your remote's the new sonic screwdriver." And you go through different tests. Like, "Oh, here's a family. Which one's the alien?" You got to flip through the cameras. "Oh, use your remote to fly the TARDIS. Do this. Oh, here's a bunch of numbers. Fix the numbers. Use the door locks." Stuff like that. And then you just kind of learn about it. Realistically, I would have kind of skipped over it, but we do see the Grosk again. So it is a little bit important. But I like how the first Doctor is immediately bookended by little shorts. So I'm kind of curious, what do you guys think about the first Doctor's story? What did you think about everything about it? Go ahead, let me know, and I will see you guys next time for New Earth.